At one point in his career, he was not performing as well as he had been. Consequently, he remained at home for a considerable amount of time. David Ruffin, an American soul singer, was well known not only for his work as one of the Temptations' lead vocalists, but also for his distinctive, raspy, and tormented tenor vocals. Ruffin was recognized by Rolling Stone magazine as one of the 100 greatest vocalists of all time in 2008 and again in 2023, a recognition that underscored his outstanding talent. Keep reading as we reveal the rumor that David Ruffin's son confirms. Ruffin suffered numerous personal difficulties despite his success as a musician, and his tragic demise was surrounded by mystery. After his untimely death, his son has now come out to validate certain rumors regarding the legendary singer. But to fully comprehend these insights, we must first understand the early experiences that molded him into the man we know today, as well as the struggles that ultimately led to his premature death. Early years of David Ruffin. David Ruffin had a tough start in life. In the small Mississippi town of Wynot, he was born on January 18, 1941, under the name Davis Eli Ruffin. Situated roughly 15 miles southeast of Meridian, it was a rural area for his family. Though things were difficult, Eli, his father, put in a lot of overtime driving trucks at several timber mills. Additionally, Ophelia, his mother, tried her best to earn some money from home. Following the Civil War, they were forced to relocate from Alabama to Mississippi due to extreme hardship. However, financial difficulties were only the start of David's challenges. His father was very strict and occasionally quite harsh. To make matters worse, 10 months after he was born, his mother died due to complications after childbirth. It was a very difficult beginning for young David. Gina Ruffin Moore, his niece, recounted some anecdotes about those formative years. She mentioned that when David's father took them to various churches on Sundays, people would feel sorry for the children who had no mother. It was a difficult experience for a little boy. Gina also shared that when David was 18, he would pretend to be on The Ed Sullivan Show and encourage his friends to applaud him while he performed. David was in his early teens at the time. One of the few bright spots in his life, having grown up without a mother and with little money, was pretending to be a renowned singer. Even though things were difficult, David never gave up on his dreams. In the early 1960s, he managed to get to Detroit with his childhood aspirations still burning brightly in his mind. However, his father eventually married schoolteacher Irene before he left. Ruffin's early life was filled with excitement and conflict due to this new family dynamic. When Ruffin was little, the three of them, his sister Rita Mae, and his elder brothers Quincy and Jimmy, went on family gospel trips with their father and stepmother. They opened gigs for renowned performers including Mahalia Jackson and the Five Blind Boys of Mississippi, appearing at various locations. Ruffin was excited about performing, but he also wanted to go and establish himself. Ruffin therefore left home in 1955 at the age of 14, intending to pursue a career in the clergy, but he ultimately felt pulled to something else. Ascent to fame. David Ruffin had a remarkable journey to stardom, filled with twists and turns that ultimately led to his big break. At the tender age of 15, Ruffin embarked on a musical adventure to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Alongside the renowned jazz musician Phineas Newborn Sr., it was there that he got his first taste of the spotlight, performing at the 50 Grand Ballroom and Casino under the stage name Little David Bush. Not one to shy away from hard work, Ruffin also dabbled in working with horses at a jockey club while continuing to participate in talent shows. His determination and passion for music eventually led him to become a member of the Dixie Nightingales, where he honed his craft and shared his soulful voice with the world. As fate would have it, Ruffin crossed paths with some of his musical idols, including Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson, who had transitioned from gospel to secular music. Ruffin took inspiration from their journeys and decided to pursue a career in secular music with even greater ambitions in mind. Ruffin followed fate to the storied metropolis of Detroit, Michigan. He met Eddie Bush there, along with his wife Dorothy Helen, who spotted his undeveloped skill and potential for greatness. Under their direction, Ruffin, age 16, made the transformative decision to go to Detroit, where his brother Jimmy was already pursuing a musical career in addition to working at Ford Motor Company. The setting for Ruffin's second major break was the Motor City. In 1958, he recorded his debut album in Detroit, which included the songs You and I and Believe Me. These songs showcased a distinct aspect of him as an artist and were a testament to his versatility and skill. These tracks, which were recorded at Vega Records and issued under the last name of Ruffin's guardian, Little David Bush, signaled the start of Ruffin's musical development. When Ruffin thought back to his early years in Detroit, he remembered how the music of the early 1980s had a big influence on him at first, the mellow pop and R&B tunes that characterized the time. This turning point in his career set the stage for a journey full of moving songs, thrilling performances, and an unrelenting dedication to his craft. Ruffin met Berry Gordy Jr. in 1957. He was a lyricist at the time and had aspirations of launching his own record label. Ruffin subsequently moved in with Gordy's father and even helped pop artists by working on the building that would become the headquarters of Gordy's Tamla Records, which would eventually become Motown Records and Hitsville, USA. It was a significant event that would influence Ruffin's career in the music business. Ruffin not only got to know Berry Gordy Jr., but he also got the chance to collaborate with another aspiring vocalist, Marvin Gaye, at the Chess distributed company Anna Records, which Gordy's sister Gwen Gordy Fuqua and his songwriting collaborator Billy Davis ran. Both Ruffin and Gaye worked as apprentices. It was a period of growth, learning, and preparing the way for future developments. In a 1988 interview, Gordy Fuqua praised Ruffin, stating, "Yes, ma'am, but he was really a gentleman." However, what truly struck me about David was that he was one of the few performers I had ever seen who practiced as though he were performing. Ruffin's commitment and work ethic were obviously having an effect on those around him. Both Ruffin and Gaye would spend hours packing records for Anna Records, according to Ruffin himself. Ruffin was able to get hands-on experience and fully immerse himself in every facet of the music industry, all while obtaining invaluable knowledge and skills. It was clear, as Ruffin's adventure went on, that he was meant for greatness. His experiences and the relationships he had formed were preparing him for a significant turning point in his professional life. Ruffin was poised to leave a lasting impression on the music industry. Ruffin was the drummer and singer for the Voice Masters, a group known for their distinct sound and aesthetic. In 1961, they began recording at Anna Records, where they cut the tracks for the songs One of These Days and I'm in Love. Ruffin's musical career was just getting started, and he had no notion that significant opportunities would present themselves soon. Due to his talent, Ruffin attracted a lot of attention and soon found himself surrounded by other extraordinarily gifted musicians. Walter Gaines, Hank Dixon, Ty Hunter, C.P. Spencer, and members of the Originals were also voice masters. Melvin Franklin, a future member of the Temptations, was formerly a member of the Voice Masters. David would later identify Franklin as a cousin. Ruffin's contacts in the music business had only just begun.